Morning, everyone. Happy Easter. Jesus is risen. The tomb is empty. The stone has been rolled away, and Jesus is alive. This morning, I want us to concentrate on a four-letter word. But before we do that, I want you to put your hands on your chest and feel your heart beat. Now, I'm hoping that you're doing this. Sometimes when I suggest to a congregation that they might want to do something to illustrate a point, sometimes there might not be as much congregation participation as I would like. Now, I can't see whether you're doing it, but I hope you are. Feeling your heart, that heartbeat. And the question today is your heart an Easter heart? Is it beating in the rhythm of a risen Christ? So we'll think about that, but we'll also think about a four-letter word. Now, there are a lot of four-letter words about, as you well know. You could say love or hope. Those certainly are two words which are associated very much with that first Sunday morning, that first Easter morning. But what about the word life? The word life and concentrating on the rhythm of life, the rhythm of the heartbeat of our life. So let's just try and maybe unpack that a little bit more. Easter is about life. It's about life after death. It's about new life and resurrected life. Life is not about working and paying your taxes and then dying. There is far more to life than that. A life that lives every moment to the full. A life that is triumphant. A life that is victorious over death forever. Now, Jesus' final words on the cross were, "It is finished." And today, the words, although they're not quite recorded like this, are pretty much, "It has started." On that Easter morning, there is a new start. There is a new day, a new way of living. Have you got an Easter heartbeat this morning? The beat of resurrected life started then, and it continues today, and it will continue tomorrow. It has finished becomes now it starts. Have you got Easter rhythm in your heartbeat? Now, the beloved disciple looked at the abandoned grave clothes, the empty grave, and believed that Jesus had risen. And the moment that he believed, it's like his heart was transformed. He suddenly had an Easter heart. It was suddenly beating in a new way, like a heart transplant. When Mary Magdalene heard her name being called, Mary, when she heard that and she saw and she believed, again, her heart starts beating a resurrection beat. When Jesus is travelling with the disciples on the Emmaus Road and they're having this conversation, it's like Jesus is working on their hearts while that is taking place. And they later recall, they said, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he was talking to us on the road?" Now that's recorded in Luke 24, verse 32. So what does that mean for us today? And what condition, what heart condition have we got at this moment in time? Well, an Easter heart with an Easter heartbeat sees life full of possibilities. It sees life as something that is exciting to be lived for the full, something that is bursting with the joy of knowing Jesus Christ as Lord and King. An Easter heart throws off the old grave clothes and lives by faith every day. The beat of the heart is the beat of God. An Easter heart is one which notices the stones being rolled away then and also today, now. It sees hope in death, the death that is around us. It sees hope in something bigger and better, something more than what we experience. And an Easter heart is one where it's not trapped. It's not trapped behind a stone. It's not trapped in a sealed room. It's not trapped. It's not bound up in death. It is free. It's free. It's not imprisoned. It sees hope. It sees transformation. It sees new life. Now, in our tradition, in the Western Church's tradition, we might refer to Thomas as doubting Thomas. But actually, in other traditions, in the Orthodox tradition, is referred to as Thomas the Confessor. Those two different ways of referring to the same person are amazing, aren't they? Doubting Thomas or Thomas the Confessor. If you've got an Easter heart beating, you don't focus on the stuff that people get wrong. You don't focus on the stuff which often ties people. You focus on what is beautiful, and you focus on what is special, and you focus on what is unique and blessed. And finally, and this is the last point really for today, an Easter heart is a heart that breaks. Now, that might sound a bit depressing, but a broken heart is an ultimate sign that there's been immense love. And God's heart breaks when God sees the stuff going on in our world at the moment. God's heart breaks when he sees suffering, when he sees sin, when he sees injustice, when he sees things not as they should be. God's heart breaks, and our heart should break when we see those things too, because we know that there's a better possibility, there's a better way, there is a new way, there is a new life that people can have. So an Easter heart can get broken, it does get broken, it gets broken when it sees the things and feels the things that hurt God. The promise of Easter is not that your heart will not break. It is not that you will not suffer. It is not that you will not feel pain, or that you won't be upset, or things bad won't happen. That's not the Easter promise. The Easter promise is the fact that there is something so much bigger, so much more powerful, that the King of love, the victorious Jesus Christ, that wonderful shepherd, the Passover lamb, the one who took it all to the cross, did it for you and for me. He did it all for you and for me. He opened the gates of heaven for all who would believe. And when Jesus looks to us and he sees our hearts beating, and he sees through all the stuff, he sees through all the mess, he's with us when we suffer, he's holding us when we hurt, he picks us up when we fall, and he doesn't look at us as the doubting Thomases. He sees us as we can be if we've got an Easter heart. So my prayer is for today and every day that you can just keep on reminding yourselves that we're Easter people. We live in resurrection times. Feel your heartbeat. Be reminded of who you are in Christ. And remember that God so loved the world that his heart broke. The cross is a symbol of God's broken heart. A broken heart is the price of love. But if Easter is not the symbol of a heart that will never break, it's the symbol of this, that out of the broken And out of the broken heart, God will birth a new heart, a new whole heart that beats with passion and with life, a passion for justice, a passion for mercy, a passion for compassion, a passion for love. And our heart is a heart that breaks for the same things that breaks God's heart. We are Easter people. Today is a glorious day, and we stand or sit in the knowledge of that first Easter morning when hearts started beating to a new beat altogether. May that be true of us too. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. I hope you have a day in the sunshine if you can, and just be praised, just be full of praise for the things that you see around you. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.